Mabel, I am leaving for the city to build a future, but I want you to wait for me. I will come back, I promise. And when I return, it will be to marry you. I'll wait, Jerry. I will wait for you no matter how long it takes. She waited 4 years. She rejected every man who came for her hand. The villagers laughed. She's foolish. Then, one day, Jerry returned, but he was not alone. Everyone, meet my wife, Jane. Mabel's world shattered. But to understand how it all came to this, we must go back to when Mabel and Jerry were just children. Mabel and Jerry had known each other since childhood. Their families lived just a few houses apart in the same quiet village. Like many African stories passed down through generations, their bond was forged through shared labor, laughter, and survival. They spent their mornings helping in the fields, fetching water from the well, and tending to chickens. Their evenings were spent beneath the great iroko tree at the center of the village, whispering secrets meant for no one else. As they grew older, friendship quietly blossomed into something deeper. Mabel noticed how Jerry's eyes lingered on her whenever she laughed, and Jerry couldn't help but smile whenever she spoke, even about the simplest things, a broken water pot, a stubborn goat, or the endless teasing of their younger siblings. One evening, as the sun dipped low and bathed the village in warm golden light, Jerry took Mabel's hand, their fingers intertwined as naturally as the roots of the trees surrounding them. His voice was low, hesitant, yet filled with conviction. Mabel, I am leaving for the city to work, to build something for the future, but I want you to wait for me. I will come back, I promise. And when I return, it will be to marry you. Mabel's heart fluttered like a trapped bird in her chest. Tears glimmered in her eyes. I'll wait, Jerry. I will wait for you no matter how long it takes. Just come back to me. That promise became her lifeline. When Jerry left, the village felt emptier to Mabel. Yet, they stayed in constant touch. She treasured the letters he sent, reading them over and over until the edges wore thin. Every message filled her with hope. Every phone call reminded her of the life they had planned together. As the years passed, she refused every suitor who came to ask for her hand in marriage. There was Amos, a kind young man whose family offered wealth and stability, and Harry, who treated her with respect and genuine admiration. Each time, Mabel politely declined, repeating the same words to herself. No one else. He will come back, he promised. Her steadfastness did not go unnoticed. The villagers whispered behind cupped hands. 4 years she has waited. For what? A man who may never return? She's so foolish. Good men have asked for her hand and she rejected them all. Even her family worried. One evening, her mother, kind but practical, pulled her aside. Mabel, my daughter, you are letting hope blind you. He may not return. You have your whole life ahead of you. Think carefully. Her father added gently, we raised you to be strong, but do not let love make you blind. A man may promise, but promises are not always kept. Yet, Mabel's faith did not waver. She believed in the bond they had nurtured since childhood, in the countless letters exchanged across distance, and in the memory of Jerry's eyes looking at her beneath the iroko tree. Even Jerry's family treated her with subtle coldness. They never insulted her openly, but their glances lingered too long. Their smiles were faint, and their words clipped. They clearly considered her inadequate, not enough for their son who now walked in the city. Still, Mabel refused to let their silent disdain crush her spirit. Each time she endured it, she reminded herself, our love will win. He promised he will come back. The day Jerry returned to the village was etched into Mabel's memory like a wound that refused to heal. The news spread quickly, moving from mouth to mouth like wildfire. Jerry is back. But he was not alone. Mabel stood at the edge of the village square when she saw him. His arm rested possessively around a tall, elegant woman whose laughter rang brightly in the midday sun. She looked every bit the polished, confident, city-bred woman, wealthy, refined, and admired. Her presence alone drew stares, whispers, and awe from the villagers. Mabel's chest tightened painfully. She had imagined this moment countless times. Jerry returning dusty from travel, smiling when he saw her, pulling her into his arms. But never like this. Never with another woman clinging to him. Not after 4 long years of waiting, believing, hoping. The kind of patience praised in African folk tales, where loyalty was always rewarded in the end. Jerry moved confidently through the crowd, greeting friends and relatives with laughter and ease. Yet not once did he glance in Mabel's direction. It was as though she had vanished. Then he spoke, his voice loud, proud, and unbothered.
"Everyone, meet my wife Jane. I married her while I was in the city. I fell in love with her the moment I laid eyes on her, and I knew immediately she was the one for me."
The words struck Mabel like stones hurled at her chest. He said it boldly, without hesitation, without remorse, as though her waiting, her loyalty, her years of faithfulness meant nothing. His family smiled approvingly, nodding and whispering among themselves. Then the jabs began, sharp, deliberate, cruel.
"His wife is so beautiful and classy," his mother said loudly. "Not that village rat who wasted her life waiting for him. I have never seen someone so stupid and delusional." Another voice followed, louder, meant to be heard. "Imagine waiting for a man for 4 years, 4 wasted years, only for him to return with someone far better than you as his wife." His sister laughed mockingly. "Look at her still standing there. Maybe she thinks it's a dream. Maybe she's hoping he'll suddenly run to her and declare his love."
Their laughter tore through Mabel's heart, but what broke her completely was Jerry himself. He did nothing. No explanation, no apology, no hesitation. He did not even acknowledge her presence. To think they had spoken constantly, that he had never sounded distant, that he had never acted uninterested. Mabel had never witnessed such deliberate cruelty. The shock was unbearable. Even the villagers joined in with murmurs and stifled laughter. She refused so many good men for this city boy, all that hope for nothing. The blood drained from Mabel's face. Her knees trembled, and for a moment she thought she would collapse right there in the square. The girl who had once been strong in hope and patience now stood exposed beneath the harsh, unforgiving glare of public shame. Her parents watched helplessly. They were hurt for her, but they could do nothing. They had warned her, they had begged her to be cautious, but love had made her deaf to reason. There was no joy in saying, "We told you so," only pain.
For weeks, Mabel barely slept. She cried until her eyes burned, barely ate, and grew thin with grief. Wherever she went, pity and mockery followed. One evening, desperate for quiet, she went to the old square, the place she and Jerry had once sat together, laughing and dreaming. Few people came there now. It was the only place where she could escape judging eyes. She remembered how elders once gathered children there at dusk, telling African tales of patience, betrayal, and women who endured storms only to rise stronger. Back then, she had listened with wonder, never imagining she would one day live one of those stories herself. She had been sitting quietly when she heard footsteps. She looked up. It was Jerry and his wife. They walked into the square holding hands, laughing softly, putting on a public display of affection that squeezed Mabel's heart until it ached. Jerry passed her without a glance, as though she were invisible, as though she had never existed. After that day, Mabel stopped going out completely. She left the house only when necessary,
to fetch water or buy food. She avoided conversations, avoided faces, avoided memories. She nursed a heartbreak that had been made public, mocked, and dismissed. A week later, she heard that Jerry and his wife had returned to the city. She released a breath she had not realized she was holding. At least she no longer had to worry about seeing them, their laughter, their affection, the way they reopened wounds that were barely beginning to heal. For the first time in days, she stepped outside again. Carefully, tentatively. She told herself she needed to learn how to live again in the village, now that they were gone. Perhaps the pain would ease, perhaps she could endure. One afternoon, while returning from the market with a small basket balanced on her hip, Mabel walked straight into Amos, the same Amos she had gently rejected years earlier. He was holding hands with a young, beautiful woman, confident, radiant, clearly loved. Her heart sank. Amos stopped, his smirk barely concealed. Mabel felt the urge to turn and run, but she already knew. He was about to mock her. "Ah, Mabel," he said slowly. "Long time no see. Where have you been hiding?" His eyes swept over her. "You look so thin, so haggard. Are you sick?" Before she could answer, he turned to the woman beside him. "This is my beautiful wife, Nancy." Then casually, "Nancy, this is Mabel." He took a step away, then turned back. "Oh, by the way," he added lightly, "I heard your Jerry returned with his wife." He clicked his tongue. "Chai, that's so sad. Such a pity." His eyes locked onto hers. "Didn't you say he would come back to marry you?" The words landed like a slap. Mabel stood frozen as they walked away, their laughter echoing behind her. Something inside her broke. She realized the village had become too toxic for healing. There was no space for dignity, no room for recovery. Suitors stopped coming. People avoided her or stayed too long. Her pain had become entertainment. That evening, her mother pulled her into a tight embrace. "My daughter, we warned you. We knew it would be hard, but this is not the end of the world." Her father lifted her chin gently. "Your heart is breaking, yes, but you still have your whole life ahead of you. Learn from this, but do not let it define you." His voice softened. "You are stronger than mockery, stronger than heartbreak." For the first time in a long while, Mabel felt something shift. Hope. That night, beneath the stars, she made her decision. With her parents' blessing, she would leave the village. "I will not wait for anyone again. I will create my own life, my own happiness." The next morning, they packed a small bundle for her. "You are a woman of strength," her father said. "Never let anyone's foolishness make you doubt yourself." Her mother held her hands tightly. "Go, my daughter. Build the life you deserve." With their support, Mabel left the village behind, stepping into a future filled with uncertainty, but also freedom, self-respect, and hope. For the first time in years, she felt something she had almost forgotten: empowered.
Subscribe for more African folk tales, African tales, and African stories.